Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to Tesla's Cube. My name is AcceleReece, and you're watching a Hot Wheels Originals review. Today, we're taking a look at the Night Shifter. Night Shifter is a legendary Hot Wheels casting that first released in 2016 and was designed by Dave Root. Dave Root was a designer who interned at Mattel for only 3 months in 2015, and he designed 4 castings. He did a Shelby Mustang, you know, just one of those generic Mustangs they always do every year, and he did 2 character cars, Harley Quinn and Princess Peach, and then he did the Night Shifter. So, you know, the other 2 are just kind of licensed stuff. This is like the only real, like, Hot Wheels car he did. I gotta give it to Dave Root, man, because in that short amount of time, bro just kind of came on the team and like designed one of the most iconic and best Hot Wheels ever made and then just dipped. What a Chad. We love you, Dave Root. I chose Night Shifter for today's review because just like Slingshot, Night Shifter is one of my favorite Hot Wheels originals, and it's one of my favorite Hot Wheels castings ever made. You know, us fantasy fans, we rant and rave about the 2000s and the early 2000s as our favorite era of fantasy cars, and while I do agree, I think there's definitely some hidden gems in the 2010s, and this is one of them, the Night Shifter. Oh man, is this thing cool, and I am so excited to talk about it. The packaged Night Shifter that you're looking at right now is the very first edition from 2016. It came in this nice blue and a Hot Wheels Race Team sub-series. This is kind of an underwhelming era for card art. As you can see, there's just kind of solid blue behind the car. There's not much going on. But the car render is very cool. I love that it's like in a drift and you can see a little tire tread mark under the tire there. I think that's pretty cool. Just like how these days we get ads for Hot Wheels Let's Race on Netflix, they had a Hot Wheels Showdown scan and race ad here for, this was a mobile game. I remember doing this back in the day for one of the cars I bought. You could scan this QR code and then drive your car that you bought in the game. However, it was just a 2D like top-down racer. It wasn't anything special. But there we go, new for 2016, and then on the back, is it a car? Is it a plane? Well, it's got the best of both. Inspired by the raw mechanical aspects of high-performing race cars and legendary military planes, Night Shifter features twin turbochargers as well as 2 fuel tanks fabricated from military aircrafts. And we'll get into that once we review the car in a second. So since we've seen most of the package here, why don't we do that? Why don't we get into the loose copy? All right, here's Night Shifter all out of its pack, all in its glory. It has a beautiful metal-like blue metal body on a plastic gray base. Chrome interior, aqua blue window piece. It's got mixed matched wheels, which I'm not a fan of. They did this on a couple Night Shifter releases, at least the first few, and then they stopped. They do this on a couple different castings. I don't know why they do it. I guess it's to kind of accentuate the whole like haphazardly welded and bolted together kind of look that these like custom, these crazy custom muscle and hot rods have. But I don't know, I'm just not a fan of the mixed matched wheels. I think it looks kind of weird, but I digress. We got both wheel types are black with red rim trim. We got PR5s in the front and then OH5s in the back. The name Night Shifter, like a lot of Hot Wheels cars names, is a play on words. A night shifter is a phrase for someone who works night shifts, someone who works overnight. And it's also because like it shifts, you know, it's a car that you shift, and night like street racing at night. So like you're, you know, Night Shifter. That's kind of the vibe I get from it. I guess that's what they were kind of going for. It's a really cool name. I just like the way it sounds. It's a good name for a Hot Wheels car. Of course, we got Hot Wheels Race Team tampos. This is a 50 to 60 style muscle car that has been heavily modified and custom built as a purpose-built race car. It's got wide body and aero stuff all over it. Exposed engine bay with no hood. We got this big exposed engine here in the front, just like it described on the back of the car. We got 2 twin turbos there. We even got these pipes that are protruding so far that they go like through the windshield into the interior. It's super cool. I hate to always tie things back into AcceleReecers, but the engine on this car really reminds me of the crazy exposed engines they have on the Metal Maniacs cars from the AcceleReecers series. Every single car on the Metal Maniacs team had these cartoonishly large exposed engines. As you can see, Hollowback kind of has a similar deal with the engine kind of coming towards the interior there, but not like Night Shifter where it actually just straight up goes right through the windshield, which is really cool. In the rear, we have two fuel tanks fabricated from a military aircraft, which is just badass. Everything about this car really is just badass. I love the stance on it. It's got a really mean look to it. It's something I really like about these kinds of Hot Wheels cars. We got the front grille there with these circle-style headlights. The muscle car in question kind of reminds me a bit of like maybe a Thunderbird kind of thing. It's kind of a mishmash of a couple different muscle cars, but it really reminds me of that sort of 50s style Thunderbird, Ford Thunderbird. Got the front grille there with the circular headlights that protrude out. We got a bumper there which has been raised so that this car can go through loops and curves. So as you can see, it's kind of at a slight angle there. It's bowed a little bit too as well. We got these cool wide body fenders. We got vents on the side that come up over the fender. Big protruding fenders in the back with the rear taillights there, and these two aerodynamic sort of like fins, which are very cool and unique looking. Here is the base. There's not a whole lot going on, but as you can see, this car was designed in 2015 and was released in 2016. We got Night Shifter there, made in Malaysia. There's our date code J13. I know the J stands for a year and the 13 is the whatever week of that year. I'm not sure what year J would be. So this is the 13th week of probably 2015 or 16, I would guess. We got two rivets. We're dealing with the two rivet rule here, so this car never really needed to be retooled. So it is in its full glory as it still gets released today. It looks like it should be the main character's car of an animated series. It's got everything that I love in a Hot Wheels car. And to think that this was designed by an intern who was only there for 3 months is kind of amazing. Dave Root, you are the GOAT. In 2016, they recolored this first edition in red, which looks like this. Now, I thought I had this car in my collection, but as I was sorting through it this week, it turns out I didn't. So I need to get myself one. So I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to Jomo of the Tesla's Cube channel here. You might recognize him as my co-host on Cube Reviews. He lended me this Night Shifter as well as some other Night Shifter merch that we're going to get into for today's video. So this is Jomo's Night Shifter. So thank you to Jomo for letting me borrow some of his stuff. This one's got a chrome rim PR5 in the front and then a black OH5 in the back with a yellow trim, which accentuates the mix-matched wheels even more so than the blue version, because the blue version they at least matched in terms of color. This one doesn't even match in terms of color, but blue and red seem to be really common colors with this car, and I think that's probably the two colors this car tends to look the best in. But yeah, we still got number 3 on the roof. It's the same as the other one. All the graphics are pretty much the same. It's just in red instead of blue. There is a light blue stripe down at the bottom here that I don't think is present on this version. We got red and yellow stripes here on the blue one, and then a blue and yellow stripe on the red one. It's just inverting the colors there. There's a subtle red stripe alongside that white stripe there on the roof. And that stripe is now blue on this version. So yeah, just inverting the color scheme. The 3 is still red, which is interesting. Night Shifter is pretty infamous for appearing a lot in Hot Wheels media, marketing, and merch, but we will get to that in a sec. Before we do, I just want to get into more versions and releases of the Night Shifter since 2016 to now. As with all these reviews, I can't show every version that was released or else it would be too long. I'm just going to show some of the significant ones and, well, the ones that I have. The very next year, in 2017, we got this version of the Night Shifter in the Legends of Speed sub-series in the main line. Again, just like the other red Night Shifter, we got the yellow trim OH5s in the back, and then the chrome PR5s in the front. It's the same exact wheel configuration. Yeah, again, I just think this release, especially this one, probably would have benefited from more cohesive wheel configuration. I'm not really a fan of this mix-matched wheel type thing. But it's in this really cool, very clean red with a number 3 on the side, a Night Shifter there, black and white stripes, and then there's a Hot Wheels logo above the night shifter. Yet again, this is number 3, and so was the first edition night shifter. They're both number 3, so I'm not exactly sure what the significance of that is. It's just an enamel red. We got a chrome interior, clear window, metal body still, and then we got a plastic black base. All the night shifters are metal body and plastic base. This version got a recolor as a Target Red Edition. These are Target exclusive versions of cars that you can only find at Target. It's like specific color variations. So they're sort of like chase pieces. You can only find them at Target. There's only 7 in a case. It's like kind of like how Walmart has their Zamax and Kroger has their own exclusive colors. But Target Red Editions usually feature the signature Target red and white color scheme. So this is a red and white version of this number 3. And it seems like they really just kind of inverted the color scheme here. So we got, you know, red accents and then white as the main color. Black OH5s in the back, black PR5s in the front, mix matched, but this time the color scheme is at least matched, kind of like the blue version of the first edition. I really like this one. It's got a cool look to it with those red windows. It's kind of mean and evil looking. It's kind of metal, you know? It's kind of metal.
Very metal.
I'm not sure what these things on the fenders are called, because it's like they've got 2 vents here, and then there's like a split, and then these 2 like bumps, but they look cool. That's all I know. Moving on to easily my favorite release of night shifter of all time, and that is the Hot Wheels ID Series night shifter. The ID Series came in these fancy little boxes, as you can see, and there it is under the flap. Now, the Hot Wheels ID Series was a series of cars that would all have a metal body, plastic base, and they would have a clear plastic base with an NFC chip in it. Now, the NFC chip would connect to a Hot Wheels ID app on your mobile phone or tablet, and you would be able to track things like speed and distance, and you would also be able to play as your car in like a little game inside the app. It was a very cool series that ran in the late 2010s, ran around like 2019-ish to the early 2020s, and then it was canceled, but they did squeeze out a lot of cool releases in that series. It had its own wheel type, as you can see here. And all the cars came in this, they call it Spectra Flame. It's the same kind of Spectra Flame as Super Treasure Hunts. I call it faux Spectra Flame because real Spectra Flame, well, what Spectra Flame is it's just a translucent paint, candy paint. So that sort of metally texture you're seeing on the paint is actually the bare metal underneath it. Actual, like true Spectra Flame, they zinc coat the entire car and then polish it to a mirror-like shine, and then do the translucent coat of paint. That's what Redline Club cars do. So you'll notice that like RLCs are way shinier than like Super Treasure Hunts. This is just like a single coat of translucent candy paint. But it does still look cool, and it looks really good on this night shifter. It's in this really cool like aqua blue. We got the only night shifter that I can think of that has headlight and taillight details painted. We got trim around the grille there painted in silver. Now it does have a translucent blue base, which I'm not a fan of, but I can deal with it because the rest of this night shifter is just so cool. So we got these red flames, Hot Wheels ID there. We got the Hot Wheels ID wheel style in black with a red wall. It says Nightburner on the tire wall there. And it looks like it says HWID Series there on the wall as well. This was number 1 in the Nightburners subset of Hot Wheels ID. This is by far, like I said, my favorite version of the night shifter. It just looks so sharp, especially with those red lined wheels and the Spectra Flame. It's very Hot Wheels. And then for 2020, for Hot Wheels Race Day Sub-Series mainline, we got this night shifter in a matte black with Hot Wheels logo decals or tampos. Matte black metal body. We got a gold interior, red plastic base, and finally we've done away with the mixed matched wheels. We have gold PR5s, black tire, And we have a sort of dark aqua blue window piece. This is a cool night shifter. The colors are a little garish for my tastes, but it's not that bad. I've seen much worse. If you look closely, there's some like metallic blue in the tampo, which is really cool. As you can see, it gets to the vents there. The Hot Wheels logo goes from the typical orange and yellow into like this blue outline. And then those two things on the fenders I mentioned earlier are detailed in that metallic blue. This night shifter came out in 2020 and ID was still pretty fresh. There was an alternate version of this main line that was limited. It was this ID Chase version. So for a short while in the main lines, they did these ID Chase cars that they're sort of like Super Treasure Hunts where there's only one in every couple cases. It's a chase piece basically. And it's a normal main line, but it's been ID-ified. So it has like Super Treasure Hunt Spectra Flame. Of course, this is black, so it doesn't show up super well. And then it'll have the clear base with an NFC chip and can be used with the Hot Wheels ID system. I believe the ID app is delisted and you know, defunct. The series is canceled. I don't know, you can't really use it anymore. They used to have like a portal you could use as well as an ID smart track. Yeah, this is sort of a relic of the past, especially when they do these sort of like gimmicky tech toys, they never seem to last. You can see there's little instructions for how you can scan your car. Then in 2021, Hot Wheels released its first console game in many, many years, Hot Wheels Unleashed, which was met with a lot of fanfare. And oh, look who that is. Who's that? That's Night Shifter, huh? In the trailer for the game, you can see the 2020 version of Night Shifter here. But then in the final game, they made a special Night Shifter just for Hot Wheels Unleashed that came in a Hot Wheels Unleashed 5-pack. So this Night Shifter here is specifically the Hot Wheels Unleashed Night Shifter. So this is a Night Shifter that is tied to a video game, which is pretty cool. Metal flake blue metal body with an orange plastic base, aqua blue window, chrome interior, and we got orange PR5 wheels. You know that I'm really not a fan of orange wheels in these garish color schemes. This one's not too bad, it's just the wheels and maybe the base. I really don't understand why they do this. I think this release would look a lot better with normal, just like black tires, and then, you know, maybe a blue or silver wheel. This Night Shifter also appeared in the Hot Wheels Unleashed sequel, Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 Turbocharged. It was actually driven by one of the characters in the story, so you'll see it in the cutscenes a good bit. Night Shifter gets a lot of releases in the sort of pop culture series where they put like random franchises and licensed brands on them and everything, and I'm not a fan of those, so I don't really include those. But as of the making of this video, the most recent release is this Night Shifter right here. This is from the 2025 Hot Wheels City 5-pack. As you can see, it says Police Squad on the side. So this is, I guess this is a police car? I don't know, it's Night Shifter. You know, when it comes to, you know, cops and bandits, Night Shifter usually strikes me as the bandit kind of car, you know? But whatever, this is still kind of a cool deco. We got it in this nice dark red. With a number 5 there on the back. We got the Ryu blade wheels, which I really like, and they look really good on this car. I know some people aren't a fan of these wheels, but I like them. We got a dark blue plastic base. Again, aqua blue window. They did the aqua blue windows on this car a lot. Chrome interior. As of the making of this video, there is another new Night Shifter that is on its way for the Halloween set, which is not out yet, but it has been revealed. So as I'm recording this video, that's not out yet, but it might be later. So as of the recording of this, this is currently, it's currently on the pegs. I've seen it. But the Night Shifter fun doesn't end there, because even though I think this is kind of an underrated fantasy car from the 2010s, Night Shifter is still very iconic to Hot Wheels because it is very infamous for appearing a lot in Hot Wheels marketing and media and merchandise. Of course, I talked about how it was in the Unleashed video game. It was also known for appearing in a lot of the mobile games like Hot Wheels Race Off. It appears in a lot of marketing material, a lot of artwork that you see, especially through the late 2010s and early 2020s. Just everywhere you go in the Hot Wheels brand, you tend to see this car pop up a lot, even though you don't really hear a lot of collectors talk about it. I've got this puzzle right here. You can see Night Shifter right there on this puzzle with Roger Dodger. Because of all the merchandise and whatnot, there's a lot of different versions of Night Shifter, like a monster truck Night Shifter. Yes, this Night Shifter is in the Hot Wheels Monster Truck series. As you can see the logo right there on the back. They do have a Night Shifter casting in this series. When Hot Wheels' partnership with Monster Jam went sour, Hot Wheels created their own monster truck line. And so sometimes they put their Hot Wheels originals in the line as monster trucks. Here is the Night Shifter from the world's smallest series. Oh, hang on, let me just kind of zoom in there. Yep. Okay, there we go. This is definitely the smallest Night Shifter you can find on the market. My camera is just barely trying to hang on, focusing on this. They do roll, and yes, they are made of metal, and they do have a track system as well. So yeah, that's the world's smallest Night Shifter. Never talk to me or my son ever again. This next Night Shifter was lended to me by Jomo. This is the Ready to Race Night Shifter playset. It's a bit incomplete, it is missing parts, but it's this very large Night Shifter playset for kids where you have like a little wrench and you can take it apart and swap out parts and like you're tuning up your car, you know? This one seems to be loosely based on the red version of the first edition Night Shifter. There is some differences though. It doesn't have the 3 on the roof. It has Hot Wheels Racing. Some of the colors are a little different. So yeah, there's our big boy Night Shifter. Never talk to me, my son, or my grandson ever again. This next one was also a gift from Jomo to me, so thank you, Jomo. He gave this to me one year, either for Christmas or my birthday, but it's a plushie Night Shifter. I can even barely fit this thing in frame. This is a Night Shifter plushie. It's a little goofy looking. The proportions are a bit off. It's only got 1 fuel tank in the back instead of 2. Just kind of got nubs for headlights. And it's got this little thing on the back here so you can hang it off of something. There's the bottom and the tag. Again, this Night Shifter is loosely based on the red version of the first edition. This time the graphics are a bit more similar. We got the number 3 on the roof, except it's just different colors. Thomas Wooden Railway? How about Night Shifter Wooden Railway? Yeah, this is a 2D Night Shifter, wooden Night Shifter, made to work on wooden train track. This is a European exclusive, I believe. They did a couple different cars, and Night Shifter is one of them. It's got that first edition race team livery, but it's in white and red, kind of like the Target red version, so it's kind of a mix match of versions. This wooden Night Shifter was provided by Jomo once again, so thank you very much to Jomo for helping out with this video. It's literally just like a wooden block with a 2D Night Shifter kind of printed on the side. It's very silly looking on these very simple, skinny black wheels that fit in wooden railway track. There are all kinds of different Night Shifters of all different shapes and sizes and versions made by various companies. There's McDonald's Happy Meal Night Shifter. There's lots of Night Shifter RC cars. There's the Loyal Subjects Chibi Figure Night Shifter. There's Chocolate Surprise Egg Night Shifters. There's a Night Shifter suitcase, a 143 scale slot car made by Carrera Go, t-shirts, a toothbrush, aquarium decorations, Christmas ornaments, a guitar? Yes, Fender made a Night Shifter guitar. And of course, all the different marketing artwork that Night Shifter can be seen in. I'd go over all of it, but we'd be here all day. It just goes on and on. Let's do a little retail Night Shifter I Spy. Yeah, well, there's one in the 5-pack like that. All right.
That's a night shifter on a sock. There's one right there. Here's a Hot Wheels pen. There it is on the pen. Well, 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 look who it is. Yep, there's one.
After that, I went to my friend's house, and even though he's not a Hot Wheels fan at all, I still found another night shifter in his place. As I'm filming this, I look down and realize it's even on my pants. Everywhere I go, it's everywhere. I can't escape it. So that was Night Shifter, one of my favorite Hot Wheels ever made and one of the most iconic Hot Wheels fantasy cars. But don't go away, because this video is not over, because it's time for the Stunt Track Challenge.
Okay, get ready to race. 3, 2, 1, go! That's the way!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was the Night Shifter. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is AcceleReece. Thank you for watching to the end of the video. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, like, comment, the whole shebang. This is AcceleReece of Tesla's Cubes signing off. Peace out, guys.